Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have the Pacifier. This is from 2005. It's an hour and 36 minutes long, and it stars Vin Diesel. Can you tell? It's okay. I was yeah, I was looking at a picture. And I thought I saw something. I really didn't. Um, Related to the movie though, Lauren Graham is in this. You also know her from Gilmore Girls. Um, there is a number of other people. Max Theriot. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, Max. But he plays one of the kids. Brad Garrett's in this. By the way, Sam you would know as he's in a show called Navy SEALs or Navy SEAL, which coincidentally, that's what Vin Diesel plays in this movie. So he grew up and became a Navy SEAL himself. I wonder if there's a pacifier reference in that show. I've never seen it, so I don't know. Brad Garrett is also a very full of himself vice principal to Lauren Graham's principal at the school where the kids go, most of the kids anyway. Uh, there's also Carol Kane plays the current babysitter nanny who kind of gets kind of leaves in the process of this film, leaves him in the lurch, having to care for the kids by himself. Uh, why is Vin Diesel a Navy SEAL taking care of a bunch of children? Well, it's a special mission, as you often do with Navy SEALs. You get them to babysit. Very beginning of the film, big action sequence, but in a very clean Disney way. It's written and it's performed in a way that you know that it's not going to be any kind of bloody, gory action or anything, just nothing out of control. It's lots of there's gunfire and there's speedboats and there's some jet skis as well, but yeah, Vin Diesel takes down the bad guys, rescues this dude, and well, fails his mission, sort of. There's a special thing that's it's a MacGuffin. It's just some sort of thing that the government has to find in order to um, save the world from people taking over nuclear arsenals and blah blah blah. The MacGuffin is not even important, and in fact, most of the time it's completely forgotten about. All we know is that even though the guy he rescued um, died um, in his custody, the thing that he was rescuing him for is still in play and possibly could be in the man's home. And what else is in the man's home? Obviously, his family. So his wife and four kids. Yeah, one, two, three, five kids? No, four kids. I lost track. I realized one's a baby and one's a toddler. No, there's five. No, there's five. Yeah, because there's a baby, a toddler boy, a preteen girl, a teenage girl, and a teenage boy. They're busy. Like I don't know what's going on. There was one point they said that dad was hardly ever around. How is that? How do they have so many kids? If that's the case, he's always traveling. Well, I guess mom. If there was a sequel to this, mom would be saying, "You know what? That guy wasn't your dad. It was the guy across the street." And that would explain everything. And or it was Vin Diesel all along. We just pretended to not know each other until he came to show up at their door to protect them. Yes. So basically, because he messed up on the mission, he feels obligated, um, or He's assigned. You know what? It doesn't matter. He's assigned to watch over these people, find the MacGuffin. Look up the term up. It's a general term for the thing that everybody seeks in order to. It's the goal of. It's the holy grail in many cases of any storyline. And yeah, well, mom has to go away for 2 days. It turns out it's going to be many weeks because she has to get something out of a safe deposit box that. So she spends 2 weeks going to the bank and hanging out and staying possible passwords that the people have right in front of them, like the people in the bank have right in front of them, in order to let her have access to the safe deposit box. They have it on the piece of paper in front of them. They have to just like playing a guessing game for 2 weeks. Like I guess she goes in there for 8 hours. Banana Split, Pac-Man, Vin Diesel, Pitch Black. Like she must have been just going through, spending all day just going, huh, or actually just saying every word in the dictionary until she found out. So I don't know. I don't know what was going on with that. That made no sense. That made no sense. But all we care about really is what Vin Diesel is doing, and he is now forced to babysit these kids. This is from 2005. This is 16 years ago. This is he had already made at least one or two Fast and the Furious movies, I think. Yeah, and this is, by the way, this is the kind of thing you do when you're a big muscle-bound dude known for your action films. Like Pitch Black is probably the first thing I ever saw him in. You know, it's a big sci-fi action, rated R kind of thing. Yeah, it's in order to sort of show your broad range and show that you can do comedy and family friendly stuff. Well, here you go. You're doing a Disney film with a bunch of kids, and he's, of course, it's a fish out of water kind of thing. It's a kind of thing where he, once he's left on his own to take care of the children, they all their problems suddenly explode. They're just like, one kid's being bullied, another kid, honestly, the toddler doesn't do anything. He just needs somebody to dance for him and sing a song before he goes to bed, which is still important to the story eventually, but you know, it's one of those kind of things. It looks like it means nothing. It's just to make the actor show how silly he can be, but it's important. So, yeah, he teaches his reaction, Vin Diesel's reaction to everything that he's faced with, whether it's a teenage girl having a party with her boyfriend and all the kids from school, or the other teenage boy, he's getting bullied by his friends, and also vice principal, who's a Brad Garrett, who's just a obnoxious jerk. Mr. Macho thinks he can fight Vin Diesel. I mean, he's a big guy, but still. He wants to do something else, and I won't say what that is, because it's, when I saw what it was, I had never seen this film before. When I saw what it was, it was very surprising. It was a very surprising turn, and I was a little concerned as to what was going on here, but I should have known better. It's not what you think it is. So, yeah, it's his reaction to all of this is to treat it like a military exercise. Anybody he runs into, it just is like, you know what, everything's at control. Everybody stand at attention, and he will shout orders at them. And most of the kids do not appreciate that at all, especially at home, where they can act out and just say, "You're a jerk. Screw off. You're not my dad." Until, of course, they are attacked by ninjas. Yes, they are attacked by ninjas. But, so they're attacked by ninjas, and the kids go, "Oh man, this is serious. We are really in danger. It's not just, you know, it's not just them being overprotective and just needing, you know, some sort of BS macho babysitter. It's there's people actually trying to hurt them." And so the kids sort of come around. They show him some respect, and he shows them respect. He teaches the girl how to drive for her driver's test, the kind of things a dad would do, but their dad's not around. Apparently 2 months later, they're fairly well adjusted, and they took the time to take a family photo in the time between the dad dying and him and Vin Diesel showing up to take care of them, because that's this period of time he took to recover when he was injured in the course of duty. But so yeah, they all just sort of sat down for a smiley little, you know, JCPenney photo that they eventually give him as a thank you, because that's what you want. The preteen girl, she is very forward. At first she's like, "Those are, you know, you've got some pretty big boobs there," which is one of my favorite little back and forth between him and one of the children. It's actually pretty funny. You got some pretty big boobs there. They're not boobs. And by the way, his voice is certainly not as low as Dom's is in the Fast and Furious movies. I mean, realize this is 16 years ago, but his voice is much smaller, much higher. He's not I am Groot. He's not baby Groot voice, but he's much thinner. He's much lighter. He's in many ways. He's also just very. He's not a kid, but he's young. But yeah, he has all sorts of interesting interactions with each of the kids. Funniest of which for me was the girl, and they first they she kind of has a crush on him, and then she's like, "No, no, you're a jerk." After a while, they come together, and she's being her Girl Scout troop. Not a Girl Scout, but it's something like Girl Scouts. They're fireflies. They get bullied by another scout troop and of boys. Apparently, you can't have sell the same crap outside of Costco. So they have territory. And so he teaches them how to defend themselves from being bullied. As you do. He's supportive with the teenage boy's secret life, and again, I'm not going to spoil. He just sort of takes over, and everybody that's around the kids involved with this is just like, yeah, that's perfectly fine with us. We didn't have leadership before. They did, but let's just take it over. I get the feeling there was a lot more to this story. There's a lot more scenes, interesting little things that might have been cut out, because I know the guys who wrote this are Thomas Lennon and Ben Garant. Now, if you know those names, you know they are pretty much the two main guys behind Reno 911. Yes, a very not Disney friendly, family friendly kind of TV show. They have some very interesting forms of humor. So yeah, you wouldn't expect them to be writing a Disney movie, but hey, you gotta pay the bills. And if you can write, and you can write comedy, which these guys can do, they're really good. They can sort of Disneyfy it. They can clean it up enough to make it so that it's palatable for all audiences. And yeah, it runs a fine line at times, but it's not bad writing. It's predictable. The story's predictable. It's how it's going to roll out. The little details maybe not predictable, but the big swipes, yeah, it's not going to be anything that's going to blow your mind. Like, oh my god, I can't believe they did this. And a lot of this stuff is fairly contrived. Like, oh, in order to get, I can't to get to the MacGuffin, Vin Diesel has to make the move outwit the things that are in their way. I know I'm going to be vague, but I know a lot of people who have not seen this movie. They had no interest in seeing it, but you know what? Treat this as an alternate reality Fast and the Furious movie without cars. There is a car chase, but it's a minivan, and it's not driven by him. So if you want to treat this, but he did teach her how to drive, which is kind of funny. If you want to treat this as an alternate reality where Dom does not have family, and he has a babysitting job after being in the Navy SEALs, this is something you need to be watching. It's dumb fun. It's funny. It was funnier than I expected it to be. It's not a great movie by any stretch of the imagination, but it's entertaining. It's fun, and it's goofy. There's just lots of dumb little jokes. He gets to stretch his legs comedy wise. How far he stretched them, well, it's up to the viewer. A lot of scenes in Costco, by the way. Also, I just noticed this. I've seen pictures float by. There's also a romance that bubbles that seems to be required in these kind of things. You can guess between who. Him and Carol Kane. Carol Kane, yeah. Now, but yeah, it's a fun little film. I expected to hate it so much more, but I love Thomas Lennon and Ben Garant, and I know what they're capable of. I know where they're coming from when creating this, and it's for me it's I had my low expectations, and it was well above them. So, yeah, I'm not going to tell you this is going to be the greatest movie you've ever seen. No, it's not going to be that case at all. Um, but you might have fun with it. Again, pretend that you're watching a lost Fast and the Furious film without anything fast or furious. And you know what? Every time there's a problem, by the way, every time there's a problem, what you can do is pause the film and go, all right, everybody in the room, how's he going to handle this? And everybody, whoever says, oh, he's gonna treat them like it's a military procedure, you're going to be right every single time. Every single time. So, yeah. Yeah, it's okay. It's the Pacifier starring Vin Diesel. Come on. I've been waiting to see this because it's honestly, I think it got picked back when I thought it was on originally, and then it disappeared, and then it came back surprisingly just around the time that Fast and Furious 9, Fast 9 came out in theaters, because they get to gauge how much interest people get from watching one movie and then having it be. If it's available all the time, why would you decide to watch it during this point? You go, you know what? I feel like watching more Vin Diesel movies. That's why they put it back on. That's the way it works. So anyway, here we go. We're going to pick tomorrow's episode.
323.
323. 323. Okay, I think every other day now, or is this? I can't remember. Every other day we're getting a documentary. And it seems like it's the second time we're going to be going back into the waters, into the deep, in about 2 out of 3 days here, because I lose track after a while. We did the whales 2 days ago. Well, we're going to deal with sharks this time around. Man versus shark. Man versus shark is what we're seeing next on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.